Hello and welcome to Focus Point. I'm Laura Wakefield.
And I'm Kelly Oth.
And today we're going to be talking about the dreaded reply all in emails. Actually, our general topic today is professionalism in emails. And one of the first issues with that is the reply all. And that's just something I want to give a cautionary tale about. Be really careful and think about when you're replying to emails. If you work for a school district or a hospital, and also as a parent, when you're replying to emails, that you're mindful of who is receiving that, and if you hit the reply all, that is going to everybody on the list.
Well, and I guess I'm going to back it up and say, just be mindful about what you're saying.
True.
Because even if you do send it to the correct person, that doesn't mean that the content of that email isn't shared.
Right.
Well, I mean, we expect that it's not, but reality is, once you say it, once you put it in writing, it could be anywhere.
That's true. And I could just grab my phone and go, hey, look at this email I got, and show it to you, even though it was only to me. Yes, good point. Right.
So I think the point is to be mindful about what you say in emails and your documentation. Laura brought up a really good point the other day about what you share about students needs to be under the FERPA guidelines.
Mm-hmm. And also, another thing, if you're talking about a student in an email and you send that out to other staff members, know that that information can be discoverable by the parent if they ever had any type of dispute. So that's under sunshine request or open records request, and parents can access that, I think, for up to 2 years, for as long as that's stored in your school's electronic records. So if you're sending an email to say, hey, I just want to let you know, hey Kelly, just want to let you know, so-and-so, a kid in your classroom had a great session in therapy today and we accomplished these things. Great, that's okay communication, that's factual. I'm letting you know what the data is, how they did, so that they can transition back into classroom very well. Versus if I'm sending out something gossipy or malicious about the child, that's a whole different ball of wax, and that can be discoverable and parents can read that. So always be thinking that anything that you type about a child, how would a parent feel if they read it?
Well, not just a child.
Okay.
Not just a child. Let's think about this.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
What about coworkers? What about communication or complaints when we send an email about how frustrated we are in someone else, or a parent when we're frustrated with a parent?
Yeah.
I just think we need to be mindful of those things. And like Laura was saying, when you hit the dreaded reply all, and you forget that maybe someone else has attached that you didn't want to see the content of your message, that could come back and really bite you.
And it also makes it awkward on other people in that string, because that happened with us last year, didn't it? When we were dealing with a certain utility bill. And Kelly is the main contact on that, and she, replied or copied me in it, and I hit reply all with the sarcastic comment, which I know you can't believe that I would say something sarcastic.
About money and them just wanting more money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, unfortunately, the person
went
read
to
that.
the company. Yes. And then I got this really quick email response from the company saying,
and then Kelly
the lowdown on
customer
customer service, and they backpedaled, and I was trying to figure out what had happened, and it took me a minute to realize that Laura's email communication to me had gone to them as well.
Yep. So she had to repair the damage of my reply all sarcasm, right? And even though it was something that we could fix, and we could repair that to an extent, it wasn't such a huge deal. Imagine the relationships that get damaged between home and school when those things occur, or within a group of coworkers,
or just even within your job.
Or what about your boss? Have you ever had thoughts?
There's a
about
story
your
there, right? I actually had a really good friend that was commenting about what a bleepity bleep bleep his boss was, and was sending that out via email communication and hit reply all, and the boss was one of those recipients.
Oh.
And so he took an early retirement. We'll just leave it at that.
I'm trying not to laugh at that because it's serious, but this shows what can happen.
Well, and he wasn't wrong. I mean, the email was accurate. It was factual. It was factual.
But that's your boss.
Yeah.
And they can read that thing.
Yeah.
Another thing, too, that I didn't ever process with emails, as I'm getting older, I'm learning it, but it's tone. Even when I feel like I'm being factual, I'm stating what occurred, the tone of the email, and often that's perceived by the reader, and it wasn't necessarily anything I was trying to say, but the reader perceives the tone in a certain way, and then I get this response back that I was not expecting at all. Mm-hmm. And you've had to help me with that.
It's hard. It's a hard thing because, we're so busy, and I think many of us feel very driven to get that communication out to parents or to coworkers and make sure that we're helping everybody and meeting everyone's demands, but we have such limited time. I could tell you, when we rush through an email and we just keep it short and brief, a lot is read into that.
And that's how I am. I'm the to the point brief, like I just lay down the facts. Mm-hmm. And I've definitely experienced that where people think, why is she so curt with me? Why is she so short with me? I feel like she's mad at me. And I'm thinking, I'm just telling you the facts.
Right.
I have no emotion.
And likewise, we read more into things than we need to, not just how other people perceive ours, but the email that you received, you got seriously defensive about. And I was like, whoa, back up here. It's okay. I don't think that's what they're saying.
Right,
and,
right.
It's hard for all of us to be 100% objective when we're intimately involved with cases with students and with families. So we all have a bias. We all have an agenda. And I think that we have to be really careful with the email because it is something that can come back and hurt us professionally and personally.
Right.
And hurt our students in the long run.
One of the great strategies for that I've learned is I either type up an email and I email it to myself, and someone told me that trick a few years ago, and I thought, oh, that's great. And that way I have it and I kind of vent and get it all out, and then I can look at it a few days later when I'm more calm and go, oh yeah, that's, I don't need
Drafts
to do
are
that.
a great thing.
Or I can send you a draft and you can look over it from this outside perspective. So if you have that friend or a spouse or someone in your family that's really good at helping you with that type of thing, that's a great strategy. Send it to them first.
Right. Well, remember, when you are in the moment, especially an emotional moment, your word choice is reflective of that emotion.
That's so true.
So you really do need to give yourself that time to calm down or give it to an objective person that's not in that emotional moment to help you maybe change the wording or choose alternative vocabulary.
Right. And don't send emails at 2 a.m. Because everyone knows when you open up your email and you receive that email that somebody sent you at 2 a.m. that you probably were not in the best mental state when you sent it.
My parents used to tell me nothing good happens after midnight.
It's so true. Because as an advocate, I will tell you that when a parent has emailed me between 2 and 4 in the morning, it's because their brain couldn't turn off and they're kind of in that really stressed out mode, and all the stuff is just kind of a brain dump all over the paper, and it's not coherent. It makes no sense, and they just are struggling. And so avoid anything at 2 a.m. It's probably not a good idea.
So those are our thoughts about sending emails and email communication. We encourage you to post your experiences and thoughts on this topic either on our Facebook page or our website. Thank you for joining us today.